Allie Bloyd. For the first time, please welcome Allie Bloyd to the stage.
Woo! Thank you. All right, I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Just a quick intro about me. I have a marketing agency and I focus on local businesses and lead generation specifically. Primarily, we're using Facebook ads and Instagram ads and content marketing to drive leads for these companies. So in the last 4 years, probably, I've trained a lot of people on how to use Facebook ads, Instagram ads, things like that, whether it was people in my course, people who were working with me or working under me, working for me, and I've seen a few things that definitely made it challenging for them to do a great job, at least initially. I found myself, repeating a lot of things or just finding that they would learn something and then quickly forget it. And then when it came time to actually implement what they learned, they weren't really seeing the big picture anymore. They were too concerned about what step was just right in front of them as opposed to like the entire strategy. And so I put this series of spreadsheets together, a lot to help my team to really do a good job for our clients so that I don't have to be the person that does all of the ads specifically, but also for people in my course and for myself, because it really helps keep you organized and it helps you make sure that you're not forgetting anything. So the very first sheet is covering budget. So if you guys have listened to Molly or Ryan or anybody at DigitalMarketer, a lot of people have talked about these two formulas for spreading out your digital ad budget. And the first one is for your traffic temperatures. 60% for cold traffic, 30% for warm traffic, and 10% for hot traffic. And then you also have this other formula that's about the type of ads that you should be running. 20% branding, 60% conversion, and 20% retargeting. So those two formulas need to really coexist with each other, but it's kind of hard. I was finding myself just like doing a lot of whiteboard formulas and scribbling things out on paper and trying to figure out like, okay, how can my team make sure that they know, how much to put behind these ads? How do I stay organized and make sure that my clients don't go over the budget that they want to spend every month? And so I've created the spreadsheet to basically break it all down for you. And it's also pretty eye-opening because this can actually allow you to set a budget. You can see based on the monthly amount that you put in, like, do I have enough money to really cover all my bases? Let's say there's a client that has more than one product or service category. Well, you're then gonna have to, split these formulas in two. And so it's a really good way to suggest budgets to your clients as well. So I'll quickly run through it before I switch up the formulas. This is just based on a $4,000 monthly budget. So first, it's gonna tell you how much of your budget is being divided between these traffic temperatures. Then what is going into your different ad types or content types. So this right here is what I do for branding. And so for a lot of my clients, we start most of their branding campaigns on the page. So we're doing quite a few posts for them every month, and it really becomes a way for us to test a lot of content really easily without having to set everything up as an ad. So we'll put $10 to $20 behind every single post. We have a set of guidelines as to what our cost per engagement, what we want that to be. And if the post hits that, then we turn it into an ad. And so this is just the number of posts. You can change this number as well. There's only 3 things on this sheet you should really need to edit manually. And so basically for cold traffic, you can spend $800 a month. And so all of that is gonna be in this line for branding. So this is telling you, okay, if you're gonna split your branding budget between all of the posts, this is how much money each post would get. If you were putting $20 behind each post, it's gonna spend $400, and then you have $400 additional dollars to either run on one branding ad or on 5 of your most high-performing posts if you want to turn those into ads. So it's giving you a really clear guideline on, okay, my branding content, this is the budget that I have to spend. You don't have to obviously do the post strategy. It's worked really well for us just to be able to find these like hidden gems that we would have never turned into ads on their own, but we've used them with ManyChat for the comment growth tool, and we've just used them to drive like a lot of conversions and a lot of engagement. And for local businesses, that can be really powerful because if you're in a local community and someone sees an ad or a post that has 10,000 likes and 900 shares and 1,700 comments, that's a big deal to people in a local community. That gives the brand credibility. That makes them really feel like, this business is doing something. So you're still going to have additional money for cold traffic, but it's not going to be for branding anymore. Your branding budget is gone. So everything in blue is cold, everything in gold is warm, and everything in red is hot, just visually to break it down. So these are a few types of ads that you could run for conversions. So some people might consider a blog or a video a conversion. If you don't, then just add it into this bucket. You really can kind of divide it the way you want, but at the end of the day, the totals will still be the same. And then I'll show you how to look at the daily budget and kind of add that up pretty easily. So for lead gen ads, this is saying we're going to do $1,200. $400 is going to be for cold traffic. $800 will be for warm. We're going to have $600 for blogs and videos to cold traffic and $600 for lead magnets to cold traffic, totaling $1,600. Then we have our retargeting ads. And so you can still do, warm audiences and things like that within these if you want to. This is more specifically for smart retargeting. So people who've downloaded a lead magnet but haven't converted, people who have clicked on your landing page but didn't convert, people who did convert but haven't taken the next step yet, or past customers that you want to do cross-sells or upsells. So a lot of times people forget several of these categories. Most of the time you see a lot of local businesses spending most of their money on branding, and they completely forget about conversion or retargeting. Or maybe somebody's spending all of their money on conversions and they're forgetting about the other categories. But these formulas were designed because they need to work together to give you the best result. So $600 for people who don't convert. You're going to see $400 for warm traffic, $200 for hot traffic. Then for non-converters, we would just say those are, or for people who did convert but haven't taken the next step, or customers, they're just going to be hot traffic, and that's going to be $200. So again, still can be a little confusing. So that's when you break it down into the daily budgets. Most people I know are running daily budgets for their ads, and so this makes it super easy to see, okay, where is my budget going? My branding was taken up by either my post testing or by that single branding ad. And so this is the rest, your conversion and your retargeting ads. So this is saying you've got $40 a day, 13 can go to cold, 27 to warm. Your next category, you would have $20 to cold. Same thing with your lead magnets. And again, if you want to, send that to warm traffic instead of cold traffic, that's up to you, but you would just need to switch up the sheet just a little bit. So finally, we've got $13 for warm traffic and $7 for hot traffic on our non-converters, and then we would have $7 for hot traffic on people that did convert. So as you can see, there's a lot of math that goes into this, and trying to figure that out manually was pretty difficult. So very exciting to have a spreadsheet that's going to do that for you. So all you really need to do is click on this cell and say, okay, how much is this customer spending a month? $10,000. It's going to manually update everything on your sheet. So let's say you only want to do 10 posts a month. It's also, it's a lot of posts a month. Then it's going to show you exactly what those numbers would look like. So if maybe you say, we're only going to identify 2 winners from the post. You're just going to switch out this number right here to a 2. So those are really the only things that you should need to change. Let's say you don't consider your blogs and your videos conversions, or you just want to lump them all in together to make it easy. Well, just add this number with this number right here, and then you've got your daily totals. You can do the same for these categories right here. So budgeting is that first step in really developing a successful campaign. And this sheet should make it very easy for you or for your team specifically moving forward, because I was the only one who ever thought about this stuff. Everyone was constantly asking me questions about how much to spend on certain ad types, and I don't know about you, but I try and repeat myself as little as possible. Anything I can do to duplicate myself or make a video showing something or making a spreadsheet that will actually show someone how to do it, I try and do that. So then we get into the actual strategy. And this is kind of a combination of a few different things. So you're going to see those traffic temperatures again. You're going to see those ad segments again. And then this is actually the awareness levels of customers. And this is really going to apply to any business. It doesn't have to be just local businesses. And then you have your customer buying cycle, your different content types, and your audience actions. So what I try and do is really match up the ads that I'm sending to the customer buying cycle. That's going to be someone who's unaware, okay? If someone is unaware, and I'm using a remodeling example, a lot of my clients are remodeling businesses. So this first question, how do I know if I'm ready? If they're not aware of the problem yet. And so I could do some type of content to show them how they might identify if they're a good fit for something like this. Or even that branding content, just showing them different beautiful spaces. That's going to be something that really is going to speak to that, unaware stage that they are currently in. Then you have problem aware. And for someone in cold traffic, they maybe are aware of the problem. They're not aware of you yet. You could send them branding ads or, some of your earlier conversion ads. A good stage of the customer buying cycle here is budgeting and financing, because for this business, they maybe know they have a problem, but they have no idea if it's financially doable for them. So this is usually a really good stage for us to discuss. And you can entertain them at this stage. And these right here, you can switch those up based on what works best for you or your business or your client's business. But educate, entertain, demonstrate, inform, those are usually 4 good types of content that you can use. And then you just want to customize your customer buying cycle. You should be able to identify 5 different stages that your customer would be in. So you just want to switch that out right here, and then the rest should really help you as a guide moving forward of what type of content you want to send your audience. So the audience action is actually telling you what you need to be doing audience-wise in that step. So in this step, we're trying to build our warm audiences. These people are cold. They don't know about us yet. So it's great for videos, blogs, simple product URLs, or engagement posts. In the problem aware, we're still trying to build our warm audiences, and then we can also start to run ads to some of those warm audiences. Under the your solution or solution aware, you're going to continue running ads to the warm audiences, but you're going to build some specific warm audiences about what actions those people are taking so that you can, in your step number 4, speak to them about the actions that they've recently taken. So if they watched your video about choosing their design style, your next ad could talk to them about, now that you know what your design style is, this is the next step for you. So you're able to really identify where they've been and acknowledge that you are paying attention to what they're doing. And then finally, the decision step. So this is going to be for people that are hot, somebody who has gone through your previous steps, or people who have been past customers, high intent web traffic, or people who have started to convert but didn't finish. And so we really try and work this buying cycle sequence into the way that we run our ads, because it is the way that people buy. I think when we start to develop our online marketing skills, we want things to be really quick. We think that they're happening differently online than they're going to happen in real life. But especially with local businesses, people go through stages of deciding what they want, researching exactly what they need, and then making a decision on who they're going to use. So this next step, this is really for my team. It's also for myself. But I just go through the main portions of the campaign process, the questions that you need to ask yourself when going through this process. For example, in creative, is this piece going to be a video? So how long is it going to be? If we're going to use it for a story ad, it needs to be 15 seconds. If we want to use it on Facebook and Instagram seamlessly, it needs to be 60 seconds. Is it going to be vertical? Is it going to be horizontal? Will it be a square? If it's an image, do we need to make a new version for Instagram? Does the image tie back to your hook and your offer? Does it look brand friendly with fonts, colors, and artistic styles? Does your video have subtitles or a background with text? Does it follow one of the video formats above? And does it have a call to action throughout, or at least at the end? So these are really just great ways to keep you or your team on track, saying, have I thought of everything that I needed to think about? And then finally, we just have a very simple testing process. Basically, we want to create these campaigns separate from the rest of our campaigns, and usually we'll just do split tests for our creative or for our audiences. So now we get into really taking what we just learned and putting it into something that you or your team can use every single day. So this is an ad planner that started out just as a whiteboard drawing several years ago to help me train some people on Facebook ads. And basically, it's a pick one from each category type of thing. So first, your avatars. I think we all know that businesses need avatars or buyer personas created, but really ask yourself, do you specifically think about which avatar you're speaking to in every single ad that you create? I can guarantee you that if you do, your team probably doesn't. So this is something that's like basic knowledge to people who are in marketing, but that we forget every single day when it comes to the actual nitty-gritty implementation. So then you have your product or service category. So again, I'm sticking with the remodeling theme. These are different remodeling product or service categories. So for this business, if they wanted to run ads on all these different categories, you can see how that budget would be spent very quickly. You would not necessarily have enough budget to focus on all of those things, which for you is a great way to say, okay, Mr. Client, this is what we have to work with. If you're trying to focus on all of these things, we're not really going to have enough money to get results for any of them. So you need to focus on one or two of them. So it's a great way for you to communicate that with your client because most clients don't understand that. Then you're going to pick your offer. So I have these just in different colors based on the type of offer. So this could be your gated content. This could be your loss leader. This could be your product preview offer. Then you have your desired outcome. Really think about it. What do you want to happen? Is your client or are you trying to get foot traffic? Do you want someone to register for an appointment or a phone call? Do you want engagement? Do you want someone to actually call you? Are you looking for downloads or subscribers? Is this an audience building phase? So determine what your outcome is going to be. Then you have the vehicle. How are you going to get there? There's a lot of different options, obviously, with placements. I've really just focused on Facebook and Instagram because at the end of the day, we may leave the other placements on a lot of times, but these are really the ones that we care about. So is it going to stay in Facebook, like an engagement post or a lead ad? Is it going to go to your website? Is it going to start in Messenger and go to a landing page? So identify where this ad is going to be seen, because where it's going to be seen and where it's going to go is going to tell you how you want to speak to that person, how you want to format the ad. Then you have your actual ad objective. So you want to go ahead and select the objective that, based on what you've previously selected, makes the most sense. Then we have different types of creative. Sorry, this trackpad's a little fast. So our creative options, I've broken it down into video and text. So we have a lot of different video types that we could run: long form educational, short form, an explainer video, whiteboard, animated video, like a video with a text overlay. You could do a slideshow, video sales letter, something that's just entertaining or demonstrating, or you could have user-generated content such as a testimonial or a customer review. So between these, you're going to figure out, okay, what is the best fit in terms of creative for this ad that I'm creating? Every section is basically going to lead you to the next answer. It's going to help you choose the answer that works best. So then we've got copy types. We have short and long. We have the different types of copy that we could use. Do you want to focus on pain points, status, emotion, a story, or a case study? Do you want to do a directly promotional type of copy, a huge benefit, or curiosity-based? Then obviously these three are going to be included in all of your copy. And then finally, what type of ad is it? So some of these are, you would have already determined that, but just reiterating, okay, this is the exact type of ad that we want to use. So now that you have this pick your category planner, you're actually going to go into building your ads. So I'm going to walk you through how we would actually do that. First, I'm going to show you kind of how that looks when you plan it out. So everything you selected, so when you're going through and you're making your selections, I just recommend that you highlight what you're doing so you can easily scan the line and see what you've chosen. So we go ahead and we break it down by that ad segment again. We want to make sure that we're not forgetting anything. This is how we recommend doing the campaign names, and it's going to work a little bit differently for everybody. But basically what this is going to allow you to do is to simplify your ad account. You could have all of your cold branding ads within one campaign. However, if this is a video objective, so if you have a different objective, you're going to want to have another campaign. If you have different product or service categories, you could definitely add that into the name and split those up, or you could keep them together. It's really up to you. So then you're going to have your ad set name, which could be your category or your offer, and then the audience. And this is really going to help you identify what the differences are between these campaigns and between these ad sets. Then you're going to identify your placement, your daily budget. So this is actually being pulled from the budgeting spreadsheet. If you want to go in and manually change those, then absolutely do that, but they're going to match up to these right here. So if you're going to change those, then you would want to change the budget manually. And then we've selected our audience, which we've already reiterated in the ad set name. And then finally, the ad name, the creative and the copy type. If you're, you don't have to put the copy type if you don't want to, but it makes it really easy if you want to do another test with a different type of copy, then you know which is which very easily without having to go into the ad itself. And this is a video to a landing page. And do I want to have a variation? So do I want to run a split test? Is there anything else that I want to test up in this ad? And then what stage of the customer buying cycle does this match up to? Again, you don't just want to hear the information and say, yeah, that's the best way to do it. You want to make sure that everything that you're producing has a purpose and that you're matching it up to a spot that your potential customer would be. Then we're going to go to the body copy. We're going to use short copy and we're going to use the huge benefit type of copy. You can go ahead and plan your headlines, your subheadlines. You could link to a video if you wanted to, or if you already have an ad image created, link to a Google Drive or a Dropbox link. This is just me saying, I know which video this is. Where is it going? So if it is a landing page ad, you want to put the URL. If it's a lead ad, you're going to put the name of the form. If it's a JSON ad, you're going to put the name of the growth tool that you should have already created. So again, think about your team trying to build an ad after they have this sheet. They know everything that needs to be done. They shouldn't have to ask you anything. And then what connected integrations are there? So this one is through ClickFunnels, and it has a lead follow-up sequence that is automatically triggered in the email. For ManyChat, we usually have specific sequences for each thing that somebody would opt into, and so they're going to be connected to that. And then are we building audiences? So we want to build these as audiences, 25% views. And then what's the next step? So these ads they get warm ads sent to them next, and then these are going to have the hot ads sent to them next, and then really at this point, you're just done. So this, I know it's hard to see with it being this large, but we're going to walk through what it looks like to actually use this and build an ad quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is pick our avatar. We're going to pick high-end Helen. High-end Helen, she has, pretty expensive tastes. She likes the finer things in life. So I know that my images and my copy need to be speaking to her. It's going to be totally different than the way I speak to the frugal Franklins. So we're going to talk about kitchens. I am going to get her to download the Kitchen Design Templates PDF. Oops. What is my desired outcome? Well, we want subscribers. We're hoping that our email sequence or our messenger sequence is going to convince her to take the next step. So what's the vehicle going to be? I think it's going to be Facebook and Instagram. And we just want to send it to our lead magnet landing page. What is our objective? So we're going to go with traffic. I already know it's a landing page, so that makes it easy to choose my objective. What are my creative options going to be? Well, this is a Kitchen Design Templates PDF, so I think it might be nice to either have a slideshow or maybe a carousel ad so I can show different kitchen design styles, because that's really going to speak to the offer that I'm trying to present. So we're just going to do a carousel ad. I think I'm going to do I'm going to do short copy for her. And I'm going to focus on status because Helen, she cares about status. And then finally, what type of ad is it going to be? Do I need to select this? Well, I've already said I want it to be a carousel ad, so we're just going to reiterate that one more time. All right, so now I have all of my selections made. Okay, now we're going to go to the ad planner itself. So we're going to say that this is a conversion ad. And this is going to be to cold traffic, and it's a conversion ad, and it's a traffic objective. This is for kitchen remodeling, and this is going to go to females 27 plus high end. And so I'll show you a quick, there's a references guide in this sheet as well that's going to list your different audiences, the different assets that you have, so it makes it really easy to remember those things. So we're going to say that this gets all placements. And then how much money are we going to spend? Well, she is in the conversion category, so I'm going to have to pull that from somebody else. This is actually, I think this might be the wrong, I updated it. But anyways, okay, so we're just going to say it's $10 a day, and then we're going to have to pull it from something else. So this is cold conversion right here. So I'm just going to steal some budget from this. I'm just going to make it $23 instead of $33. And now what is my ad going to be? It's going to be kitchen design PDF, and it's going to go to females. Oh wait, this is my audience. So this is, females 27 plus, high end. And then what is my ad name? So this is going to be the creative, and it's going to be, kitchen design carousel. You could either, give people examples of the types of ads that you want to see, or you could just, put something general. This is going to be a video to landing page. Do I want to test anything? We'll say no. What does this match up to? Well, it's a kitchen design styles guide, so it focuses on choosing her style. So for her type of copy, we already said we wanted to do status, and we wanted to do short. And normally when you're going through the sheet, you can actually see the column above. It's enlarged, so it's not quite as difficult to try and remember what you selected. This is our headline, so we could say, the kitchen design styles, perfect for entertaining. And if I didn't know what avatar I was talking to, it wouldn't be easy to come up with the content or the headline. If we were doing a video, we would know exactly who we wanted to focus that on. So this is just going to, we'll just put landing page URL. This is going to go to ClickFunnels and kitchen design follow-up. We're going to say yes. Video. And then we'll say send to warm ads because this is a cold traffic campaign. So I was able to create that ad theoretically just based on what I selected from the assets that I have, from the purpose that I want to serve. And now I've put this in this ads planner. And I could either build it myself knowing exactly what I want to do so I can crank it out really fast, or I can offload it to my team. I've already known that I've planned it the way that it needs to be planned, so now they can do it really quickly. They don't have to worry if they're doing something wrong. They know exactly what to do every step of the way. And above here is a quick resources or references area. So you can put all of your audiences, you can put all of your landing page URLs, you can put any messenger links or JSON codes that you want to, so you can just quickly insert them. These are a lot of the post types that we do, so this doesn't necessarily have to be planned on this sheet, but there's a lot of them that we use that work really well, and so it's just an easy way for people to say, okay, I have plenty of ideas. And then what is your customer buying cycle? What are the main objections that your customer for this industry has? And then what are those awareness levels again? And then if you have any resources like ad creative checklist or 7-question ad copy, if you have any client details that you want, you can just link them right there so that everything you need to build an ad should be within this sheet. How am I on time? 10 minutes? Okay. All right, so this is the ad planner. I have one more sheet that I'm going to show you. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to really go over it, but it's super, super powerful to help you create content. So it's definitely usually a first step for a lot of people, but at the end of the day, you really want to know what your avatars are, what your product and service categories are, all of the stuff that we've done to develop this sheet, your customer buying cycle, what are their main objections? And then you want to be able to put together a content framework that's going to help you make sure that you have content ideas for an entire year. So this is what we use for all of our client content. So this is our level 1 topic. So for this company, what is their purpose? It's helping homeowners create beautiful spaces and increase their home's value. Okay, what are our level 2 topics? What are 12 topics or more that are going to relate to this customer or this business? Then you want to go one level deeper and you want to say, okay, what are 4 segments of this core level 2 topic that I can discuss? So for kitchen remodeling, for example, we have kitchen cabinets, kitchen design, countertops, and backsplashes. And then we're going to have those for every single item on the list. So you're going to have 4 for each of your 12 main topics. Finally, we get to our level 4 topics, and this is usually where a lot of people get really hung up. They'll say, okay, I know different topics that I can talk about, but how does that translate into actual content? I don't know what my customer is interested in. I don't know exactly what to say in a blog post or a regular post or a video. And so you want to go through and actually have between 3 and 4 options for each one of these level 3 topics. So after all is said and done, you should have enough content for an entire year. And if you do this right, you should be able to whip out this sheet in like just a couple of hours, if not less. We can do them really, really quickly. And so I had been doing this framework for a while, and then I learned something in a mastermind that really helped us kind of take it to the next level. And there is a website called answerthepublic.com. And you're basically just going to search for every single one of your level 3 topics and see what people on the internet are searching for. That should give you more than enough topics than you will ever need. And you know that people are genuinely interested in learning about those things. So what I usually try and do is things that I already know people are going to be interested in, I go ahead and I fill them out. Because a lot of times they may not be searching, but it could be something that the customer tells me that they get questions about this all the time. So we want to make sure we address those things. Sometimes customers don't even know what they don't know. So you want to educate them a little bit about the product or service. But after that, you should be able to pull in all of these content ideas from your level 3 topics to give you every single idea regarding videos, blogs, or posts that you should ever need. And the thing is that each one of these, you could go a level deeper. I mean, for instance, backsplash styles. I can name 5 different backsplash styles off the top of my head. Each one of those could be another subtopic. So you don't have this for a year and then you have to just recycle your content. You just do a different spin on these topics. Or for most of these, we have so many more that we just don't put into the sheet. We have a download of the CSV file. Usually we'll link them at the bottom of this sheet just for quick reference. But this sheet is really going to be a roadmap for you and for your team in terms of all of your content creation. So the people that I have working with me doing content, I don't have to say, this is exactly what you should write about. I say, go choose something from our content ads planner. Okay, we have all of the different places that you could put this. If you want to switch it up and have something different all the time on each platform, you can do that. And it basically just goes through all of the months and it repeats them. So we'll do like conditional formatting where it'll just highlight everything that is in April. And so all of the topics that are in April, we just choose a couple of different options from our level 4 topics, and that's what we're going to talk about. So hopefully this sheet combined with the ads planner, the strategy and the budgeting sheet should give you the tools to really plan out your ads from this 30,000 foot view instead of being in the moment every time you're creating something and then forgetting this really key important pieces of detail that you know, but you're just not putting into action. So that's all I have for today. And if anybody wants this sheet, obviously I'll share it with you. So yeah, hopefully it helps you.
Wait, I feel like we're stealing something from that. Feels like crazy, right? Does that feel you're obsessed with it? Yeah, of course. Well, let's not clap yet. I want questions first. I want immediate feedback because it's a lot of information. Anybody, can you actually say what your huge takeaways were?
Well, that was my first question was, what's your email so I can request it? But I guess that's the 30,000 foot view is just like amazing. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm hoping there aren't a ton of questions. Hopefully it answers all the questions.
You did. That was the other thing I was going to say. Every time I had a question, you went and you answered it. You're using ManyChat, and are you finding that if you're mainly working with the remodels, are your avatars pretty much already set, or if you pick up somebody new, do you start the whole avatar onboarding process?
So we do. I have clients that are in specific exterior remodeling businesses. I have clients that do complete home additions or entire home remodels for very, very high-end clients. And so they do vary a little bit. At the end of the day, a lot of them are really similar. And a lot of the topics are going to be really similar, but there are going to be specific additions to their business that we're usually going to add. But that's the great thing about this. If you work in specific industries, you're going to get this set up, and it's going to eliminate a lot of the work that you're probably doing over and over again. And so I do have clients in various other industries, and we still have to go through this process. But I mean, we simply say, okay, like let's go to the strategy sheet. Let's ask them what's their customer's buying cycle. We plug it in, then we know really like what we want to match things up with. And at the end of the day, once you have those avatars, and once you know what you want your goal to be, and you have the buying cycle, everything else just kind of continues to work the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest thing that I love is that you could fill it out and offload it to somebody else.
And you can teach other people to fill it out too, you know, by simply getting them to think about all these different steps that in theory should go into every single ad that you're putting out. But a lot of times people, they do forget, you know, one or more steps.
Other questions?
When you put this together, do you then share that with your clients, or do they not want to see it?
Well, so we usually share the content framework with them, but the other stuff they typically don't care about. The budgeting, we will show them if there's ever any question about how is the budget going to be spent. That's also something that we've gotten great feedback on because a lot of people, they'll say, yeah, I can do your ads or whatever, and I'm sure everyone in this room knows that there's a lot of people who claim to be good marketers and then they screw companies over, and so it can leave a scary feeling with the client. And so when I come in and I show them the spreadsheet and I say, this is what we're doing with every single dollar that you're giving us, they have a lot more trust in us because they know that we have a plan, like we're not flying by the seat of our pants. But yeah, or if the instance I mentioned, like if somebody has multiple product or service categories and they think that this budget is going to be able to help them promote all of them, that's a great opportunity to share, you know, say, I hate to break it to you, but this is why that's not going to work for you, because if we cut any of these things out, the system's not going to work the way that it should.
Huge round of applause for Allie Bloyd, everybody.
Thank you.